Here's a question most truck guys don't want to answer. Do you actually know what you're buying when you go after one of those old mechanical trucks everyone keeps calling bulletproof? I've spent years watching people drop $8,000 or less on what they think is freedom. No computer, no sensors, just steel mechanical simplicity and a promise that you'll never see a check engine light again. And you know what? Some of them are right. But most of them are learning an expensive lesson nobody warned them about. There's this whole movement happening right now. Guys buying pre-computer trucks thinking they're escaping the nightmare of modern vehicles. And honestly, I get it. When you've watched a $60,000 F-150 brick itself because a $300 sensor failed, you start looking backward for answers. The appeal is real. No OBD2 port, no emissions garbage. Just a carburetor or mechanical diesel that runs as long as you feed it fuel. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Those trucks come with costs most people never calculate until they're already committed. And that right there is the difference. It's not just about what you pay, it's about what you're signing up for after. Let me walk you through the 5 trucks people are chasing right now under $8,000, thinking they're getting mechanical reliability. And more importantly, what you actually need to know before you hand over the cash. Number 1 is the 1986 Chevrolet C20. This is basically the last year Chevy built a truck without onboard computers. The C10s and lighter models got feedback carburetors earlier, but the C20s held out with purely mechanical carbs until 1987. And that's exactly why people want them. You'll find these listed anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 depending on condition and rust. The 350 small block is in there. Simple, proven, easy to work on. No computer controlling anything except maybe the ignition if you're unlucky. It's the truck boomers remember and millennials romanticize. But here's what nobody tells you. That carburetor might be mechanical, but it's not simple anymore. By the mid-1980s, carburetors had been so overdeveloped to pass emissions that fuel injection became the easier solution. Those late model carbs are a nightmare of vacuum lines, jets, chokes, and adjustments. One vacuum leak and you're chasing gremlins for weeks. Fuel economy is terrible. You'll get 12 miles per gallon on a good day, maybe 15 highway if the stars align. And because these trucks are pushing 40 years old, every seal, gasket, and rubber component is aged out. You're not just buying a truck, you're buying a restoration project that happens to run. Think about what that means for reliability. You wanted simple. You got old, and old mechanical systems still break. They just break in ways that don't throw a code. Number 2 is the Ford F-250 or F-350 with a 7.3 liter IDI diesel built from 1983 to 1994. These engines used indirect injection and ran naturally aspirated until a turbo showed up in late 1993. They relied on mechanical fuel injection and glow plugs, and they left a legacy of simplicity, reliability, and longevity. With no computers, these engines used mechanical systems for everything. I've seen these trucks listed between $5,000 and $10,000. The higher end ones usually have the turbo. The cheaper ones are naturally aspirated and slower than Continental Drift. But that's not the problem. The IDI makes 170 horsepower and around 315 to 360 lb-ft of torque, depending on displacement and year. That's not enough to merge onto a modern highway with confidence. You'll get smoked by minivans. And because it's indirect injection, fuel economy is mediocre for a diesel. Expect 16 to 18 mpg combined if you're lucky. The bigger issue is parts availability. Ford stopped making these in 1994. That's over 30 years ago. Finding an injection pump rebuild or glow plug controller that isn't junk is harder than you'd think. And if that injection pump goes, you're looking at $1,500 to $2,500 for a quality rebuild. Nobody's making new ones anymore. Here's what most truck owners never find out. Mechanical diesels are reliable in theory, but in practice, they're only reliable if you maintain them obsessively. Miss an oil change and that IDI will sludge up. Run bad fuel and the injectors clog. These engines forgive nothing. You wanted bomb-proof. You got high maintenance. Number 3 is the 1994 to 1998 Dodge Ram 2500 or 3500 with the 12-valve Cummins diesel. These trucks have reached iconic status in the diesel world. They featured the 5.9-liter Cummins inline 6, known for overbuilt internals and lack of electronic complexity. The engine used a fully mechanical fuel system, and the Bosch P7100 injection pump runs flawlessly for decades when fed clean fuel. This is the one everyone wants, and I mean everyone. These trucks routinely exceed 500,000 miles with only basic maintenance. You'll hear diesel guys talk about the 12-valve Cummins like it's a religious artifact. And honestly, they're not wrong. The 5.9-liter 12-valve Cummins is widely accepted as one of the best old-school diesel engines ever made because it uses a mechanical fuel injection system and was originally designed for industrial and agricultural use with a cast iron block and massive forged internals, making it nearly indestructible. But here's the problem. Everybody knows this, which is wild because it changes everything about the decision. You're not finding a clean 12-valve Cummins truck for under $8,000 anymore. Not one that runs. Not one that isn't rusted to hell. The market has priced these out of budget territory. If you do find one cheap, it's because something major is wrong. Frame rust, transmission failure, body damage. The truck itself might be junk even if the engine is legendary. Ram trucks from this era are notorious for cab corner rust, floor pan rot, and interior falling apart. The body and interior aged poorly even though the drivetrain is absolutely rock solid. And here's the other thing. Because these are so desirable, people hack them. You'll find trucks with backyard lift kits, sketchy wiring, modified injection pumps, and God knows what else. Sorting out someone else's mistakes costs more than buying a clean example in the first place. Number 4 is the 1994 Isuzu pickup. This was the last new carbureted vehicle sold in America using a 2.3-liter carbureted 4-cylinder engine in its base model through the 1994 model year. You'll find these for $3,000 to $6,000 if you can find them at all. They're rare. Most rusted out decades ago. But the ones that survived are about as simple as it gets. No computer, no fuel injection, just a small 4-cylinder engine that barely makes 96 horsepower. And that's the entire problem. 96 horsepower. You can't tow with it. You can barely haul anything. It's gutless on hills and dangerous in highway traffic. The thing maxes out at 70 mph and feels like it's going to shake apart doing it. Parts are non-existent. Isuzu left the US market years ago. In 2008, declining sales and economic trouble prompted Isuzu to announce it was leaving the US auto market completely. Good luck finding body panels or interior trim. You're hunting junkyards and hoping someone in Japan will ship you what you need. This truck is simple. It's mechanical. It's also slow, uncomfortable, unsafe by modern standards, and impossible to support long term. You wanted cheap. You got what you paid for. Number 5 is a mechanical diesel from the 1980s and early 1990s. This includes the Dodge Ram with 12-valve Cummins from 1989 to 1993, the Ford F-250 or F-350 with IDI diesel from 1983 to 1994, and Chevrolet diesel trucks with a 6.2-liter engine from 1982 to 1993. The Chevy 6.2-liter diesel is the one people forget about. And honestly, that's probably for good reason. It's mechanical, it's reliable enough. It's also the slowest thing on four wheels. This engine makes about 130 horsepower. Think about that. 130 horsepower moving a 3/4-ton truck. You'll get decent fuel economy, maybe 20 mpg highway, but you'll also get passed by everything. Hills are a suggestion. Passing is a prayer. The general rule is if it was built after 1996, it likely relies heavily on electronic engine management systems and is highly vulnerable to modern complexity. So these early 1980s and 1990s trucks avoid that, but they come with their own baggage. Mechanical diesel pumps are expensive to rebuild. Glow plug systems fail in cold climates. Injectors get clogged if you run anything less than premium diesel. And because these trucks are 30 to 40 years old, the rest of the vehicle is falling apart around that bulletproof engine. Suspension bushings, brake lines, wiring harnesses, door hinges, everything is worn out. Now here's the part most people miss when they're shopping for these trucks. You're not just buying a vehicle without a computer, you're opting into a completely different ownership experience. Modern trucks fail electronically, you get a code, you replace a sensor. It's annoying and expensive, but it's predictable. Mechanical trucks fail mechanically, and when they do, there's no code to tell you what's wrong. You're diagnosing by feel, sound, and experience. If you don't have that experience, you're paying a mechanic who does. And those old school mechanics are retiring. Carburetors need adjustment. Timing needs to be set manually. Valve lash needs to be checked. Diesel injection pumps need clean fuel or they seize. None of this is plug and play. It's all hands on. You wanted to escape computers? You just traded one set of problems for another. And let's talk about safety for a second. These trucks have no airbags, no ABS, no traction control, no crumple zones worth mentioning. You get in a wreck in a 1986 Chevy and you're trusting a lap belt and luck. Modern vehicles have electronic nannies because they keep people alive. Removing those doesn't make you tougher. It just makes accidents more dangerous. There's also the fuel economy problem. Everyone talks about how modern trucks with all their tech only get 18 mpg. Guess what these old mechanical trucks get? 12, maybe 15 if you baby them. The computer-controlled fuel injection everyone hates is the reason modern trucks don't guzzle gas like a 1980s V8. You're trading electronic annoyance for burning twice as much fuel. That adds up fast. Then there's emissions. I'm not here to argue politics, but if you live in a state with emissions testing, good luck. Carburetors can't typically meet modern fuel efficiency or emissions standards. You might not be able to register the truck legally. Some states exempt vehicles over a certain age, others don't. Know your local laws before you buy. But the biggest hidden cost is time. Working on these trucks takes time. Diagnosing problems takes time.